Let me find out fortune ladies are like even remotely real.
What's poppin' duelists? Alright, today guys, I entered Frazier Smith's locals. I finally decided that I've been a fan of Frazier Smith for honestly a year, probably a year longer at this point. You know, I've been watching the players play, and guys, I lied. Fortune Lady is actually way more busted than I even realized. That last build I showed in last video, there's so many cards I took out. So many! Once you do a little bit of testing and you actually work on the deck, you'll see what crazy things can happen. All right, anyways, guys, here's the first replay. I went X1. It was a single elim bracket, but all right, so let's see. So I'm up against hybrid Blackwings. Opening hand, I draw double Sark, double Vision. So if you see two Visions together, it's not too bad. It's like the main card of the deck. Anyways, so we're gonna go double Sark here. So I think of it, so my usual go-tos are Trunade and just like combo pieces, but for some reason I don't get Trunade here. I don't. I guess Trunade isn't exactly a starter, it's an extender, and I already have Heavy Storm. Alright, so we just Future Visions pass. This card is great against decks that rely on normal summons like Blackwings, and potentially even stuff like Armor Knight. So we get a set 2 here, we got Icarus, so that's cool. I draw compulsory, 1 or 2 for my 2 Sarks. Sarks are very good. Surprisingly, I don't know. I'm back on Sark, guys. I did complain about Sark, but to be honest, I think this card is just way too necessary. If you're ever bricked on a future, Fortune's Future, you have 2 of them and you don't have Sark, it's a hella brick. So anyway, so M1 is good. So honestly, I look at my hand. I don't really want to commit any more to this field. I have no idea what I'm up against. He hasn't played into the Future Visions yet, so I'm just gonna pass. So he tribute summons for Sirocco. He draws scores. Tribute summons for Sirocco. All right, and then Future Visions is gonna banish it, and he sets another back row. And oh, this is really good for me. That's Starlight Road, but so now this heavy is gonna be a 2-for-1. So, right, so I go M1, get my cards, and then we just Heavy Storm. So what this Heavy Storm does is it takes out these 2 cards, and Sirocco is going to be gone too. So, as you can see, basically a +1. I mean, Heavy Storm naturally would have plus, but I think it's even a +2 at that point, because they're only on 3 cards now. And they tributed the Bayou, and the Sirocco's banished, so they can't get the Bayou effect just yet. So, pretty good for me. So, typical stuff, Vision's Light, banish, summon the Dark, get a swing here. We play into this Gores, but it's kind of fine because we have Gate. Gate is very good when you want to play around Gores. Here we go. I think a bit. I'm like, all right, should I gate the Gores? Yeah, I'll gate it. So we gate the Gores, set our back row. I kind of waited on setting the back row because I wanted to get used to my Heavy Storm, and then I'll just chill with this. And then he tries to bring this back. It happens. This card is overly complicated. Anyways, so he swings for 2k. I don't bother compulsing this. I'll take the damage. I'm getting back light, which is very good because this token is 2k, and you'll see the play I end up going up with. So we draw Armored Ignite. That's a pretty good draw. As you can see, new text here. This was not in the previous deck profile. So I get my my light back in the standby, and in standby phase, gain a level, I think, and actually compulse Lady Light in standby phase, and I activate the ability. So what this allows me to do is summon Dark at 2k. And within the same standby phase, I gained the level, so it becomes 2400. So this is just played like, guys, compulsory. I was like ragging on this card. Oh, it's a one of. It's, you know, you can play it along Skull Lair, guys. Skull Lair. I found the new Skull Lair, guys. The new Skull Lair. You will see it very soon. It's busted, guys. Spoilers. It's Brownie because the most busted card in Fortune Ladies. You'll see why. Not in these replays though, unfortunately. But I did do testing. All right, so we just was back. Typical stuff. I could have went Fire here to pop this to burn for 2k, but I just wanted to draw 2, get card advantage. That's what's most important in this game anyways. End up drawing Future Visions. What is this list? Bro, you'll see. I'll show the list probably after this replay, to be honest. So I big think I decided to go for a pre-bounce play. I actually don't remember these replays. It was yesterday I played this tournament. Go for Brownic, pitch, bounce token. I mean, to be honest, this play's kind of aggressive. I won't lie. I honestly don't know why I did this. I ended up playing a little too aggressive in this tournament. It led to some misplays. So anyways, so now like any summon off fire would be game. Reveal the Gaia. We send the Alias and the Side Commander. Pretty good cards. Draws Bottomless. You normal summon Sirocco. It's just going to get banished, and that's game 1. He has all these Blackwings, but they just normal summon gets cooked. Anyways, here we got game 2. So here's an interesting thing that I've noticed is people tend to side Dust Tornado, that sort of thing. I ended up seeing Breaker. So Breaker actually does not work under Visions. It's actually a misplay, and you know, but the benefit of playing a deck that people aren't familiar with, I don't blame them. Basically, if you normal summon this under Visions, we'll just banish it away. It will come back with no counter. So we just didn't decide to go with that. Anyways, it's gonna lead with the Rota here. hybrid Blackwings, you know, send the plague, Bayou, send the tornado. Pretty threatening, not gonna lie. Pretty good against my deck. So unfortunately, this future fusion is dead again. I literally opened one of the worst hands in the deck. I'm not even joking. This is brick. Well, technically it's not brick. I could like activate this, summon water, but then if it gets interrupted by the dust tornado, it'll be bad. Fortunately, this is dead, but we can pitch it for things like Bronic. I just go with normal summons like Commander. A 1900 tuner. That's basically what this is. So deal some damage, activate future visions, and I just pass here. He does dust me, fortunately. So there goes the dust. He just sets a back row. I'm surprised he doesn't summon breaker. I guess it would crash. But anyways, I draw light, which is pretty. It's okay. I don't have a conversion, but he does dust shoot it away. The normal summon water. We're just trying to swing. So I've noticed that the best way to unbreak water is just synchro with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. We go with the Arcanine attack position because why not? I could have went Ancient Fairy, but I'm already down a field spell, and I'm pretty sure I side out like the Terraforming for game 2 because it's like slow going first. I mean second. Slow going second. So he goes Breaker, brings out the Plague, Goyo's me. Fortunate. I draw Ryo, which is not great. So what I should have done here is I should have just cold waved and then normal Ryo and swing. Of course, he would have took my Ryo next turn, but at least I do something. But then I could blown out by Whirlwind until Blizzard. Oh, I did not really expect this. So didn't really see all the hybrid cards. And I draw another Future Visions. Yeah, I just decided there's no way I'm winning this. We sided. He was asking me if I was almost on my siding. Legally, I'm allowed 3 minutes of siding. That's what this coder would say. Oh, this is coder if y'all don't know him. Anyways, got some spectators here. Yeah, I've seen these dudes. They're pretty cool. You know, glad they got to watch me and showcase the deck. I think this deck needs to be explored more. Obviously, like Gate. I don't know. I've been thinking about changing up the build, but right now my win rate is not bad. Let's just go on game 2. We open pretty cracked. Anytime you see Visions and Gate and Light and draw 2 card, it's pretty good. So we go with the typical stuff. Light Vision, Summon the Dark. This is pretty much the God opening. Gate, very good for the next turn off this light. So he Typhoons me, that's pretty bad. But then he doesn't really like summon anything else. He just sets Icarus. Icarus pretty good against me. Pretty scary card, not gonna lie. So he does shoots me again. So that's unfortunate. But so because he used the Typhoon on my Visions, the Lady Light does not come back. So I'm just like, alright, if this is not gonna come back, I might as well just put it in my graveyard. So I do that. He does not change Icarus, which is interesting. Because if you think about it, you're not going to be able to Icarus unless I commit another card. And if I swing right now, I get my Revive effect, which is what happens. So I just swing. Get my light back. Activate the Visions. That's chill. Unfortunately, yeah, he doesn't have a Winged Beast anymore. So yeah, he definitely notices his misplay. That's why he says my bad, I think. Sets another back row. Sets Suppression. Aggression is okay against Fortune Ladies. It's actually, well, I say okay. It's pretty dang good. I'm not gonna lie. It's bad if I have like a Dark on field and like no out to the dark. So I draw Wind, and if you notice something, I have 2 Fortune Ladies, and this card says when this card is normal summon, non-target destroy back row up to the number of Fortune Ladies you have. So that means I could pop his entire back row. So I summon Wind. He has no Solemn, Visions 1, Wind 2, and I'm like, what? What the absolute? I just resolved. Yeah, guys, that like, oh my goodness. I didn't even side the second copy of Wind for this matchup. Honestly, I should have, because oh my goodness, what that Wind just did was absolutely insane. Anyways, I said the Solemn Judgment. I was thinking about judgmenting that, but it's like, whatever, dude. The game is just cooked at this point. Having a body, like him summoning a body is like issue. Plus I have Gate, so I just Gate him, banish, summon the water, draw 2. That's game 1. Oh, so Future Visions and Light, pretty busted cards. Obviously back row removal is scary, but you're just gonna have to side decree or something to create another card that I decided to put in my side deck. I was thinking about main decking this card, but there's just 2. I kept main decking side deck cards, and I think that was my problem. Oh, spoilers. All right, so now we got game 2. We're against Nowak. They're some of the better players in this tournament. I can't lie. I see them win a lot. Or at least Edgar I see win. I don't remember the last time with Nowak, but it's okay. Anyways, so we go Sark Returnate, typical stuff. We drew the Alias, so once again, the Future Fusion is going to be dead, but it's fine. So he goes Allure. If this is a replay, I end up losing, so I ended up making severe misplay that honestly, if I didn't make it, the game would have turned out very differently. So he goes Allure, Banish Mally. So that means Mally is off the table. So I draw Dust Shoot. We just go swing here. Not really a point of doing more. And then he gets me with a Typhoon into Gores. Pretty good. Fortunately, I have the Mirror Force. So I set 2. And then I Dust Shoot. Oh, no, I don't Dust Shoot. I should have Dust Shoot. So I just Mirror Force this because, yeah, I don't know. So end of battle phase, I decide to Dust Shoot him because I'm just like, curious what he's on. Don't want to hold the Dust Shoot any longer. He might set in main phase 2. I want to see what that set is. So I ended up seeing what he has, and I'm just like, damn, yo, this is actually tough. There was so many times where I'm just like, damn, what do I do? He has a normal summon. He can summon this Caius. I have no out to that Caius. Nothing in my graveyard. Phantom of Chaos and Water, not great without setup. They're mainly cards that you want to tutor out of the deck, not be in your hand. Yeah, swap for all. Like if I don't take Caius, even if this wasn't on the field, it'll be bad. He has Dark Arm, Armageddon Knight, plus the Dark Duel Ascend will make this live instantly. I'm just like, I gotta play to at least win. I know Dark Arm is not the best. You always take Dark Arm. It's the most busted card. Why wouldn't you take it? So I literally decided to take Caius because I literally, like, my hand is so bad. Which is like crazy. So he decided to send Swap Rug this turn. So set back row, most likely a chainable. It's a torrential, which is interesting. He reminds me of my True Nade. You love to see it. So I actually thought about True Nading here, mainly because I was thinking about his hand. I'm like, if he normals Armageddon Knight, send a Dark, and then chains torrential, then he can special that, and I literally have no way of dealing with that. But then it's like reset the next turn, and then it's like I eventually just lose to the torrential. So I'm thinking, but then if I True Nade now, like his Treeborn is live. Okay, I ended up True Nading now. I don't remember. I guess I just decided to play my cards. I'm like, I'm not gonna hold anything. I'm just gonna play my cards. He doesn't have any way to convert off this Treeborn just yet, so I'm just gonna be like, whatever, dude. So he sends up Sending. He goes for Plague. Interesting. Goes for Goyo. Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, draw Dark. You never want to see these are like the bricks and the Fortune Ladies. You don't really want to see Phantom of Chaos in your hand without setup. There's nothing in my graveyard that can be banished as a normal monster. Like it matters. It just has like everything, right? So we've gone to game 2. End up siding a D-Fissure. So it's like very graveyard dependent. He does have Dust Tornado, unfortunately. So he's gonna go Stratman here. Stratman, get the Malicious. I'm glad to have a Carbons here to keep me alive. So pay 800. That's a Dusty. So I just decided to just set Light, set Oppression. He's got the Dust Tornado. He hits my back row. Unfortunate, but I have the Oppression, so I'm just like, I get to keep the Oppression. That's cool. He pitches, and then I'm sure he did not expect this, but here's an Oppression. A pretty good Oppression. Granted, his Mally is engraved, but now, you know. Here comes Swap Frog. He's gonna send the Frog. Let's get swung on. I was hoping he didn't hit D-Fissure, so if the lady dies, I'll get banished, and then I could Future Visions or Fortune's Future. I keep getting those confused. So we got Future Visions, Future Fusion, and Fortune's Future. They're also confusing. Anyway, he's gonna bounce. Pretty annoying, but it is what it is, right? So I'm just gonna swing. Set the compulsory. I don't set Light here. I don't set it because if I try to compulse my Light to hand, it'll just negate it. So I'm kind of locked under my own Oppression because I have like Chaos Sorcerer. I probably should have decided out Chaos Sorcerer. Maybe I should be like playing Kaiku's. So like Kaiku, I guess he has Soul Exchange. Did he just draw that? I mean, probably not. Oh, he drew his Mally, so that's pretty unlucky. And I should have made a read that he drew his Mally, but you'll see, because ends up not using his Mally Engrave at a point where I really feel like, why didn't he do that? But then it was obvious that he drew his Mally and not a Caius, so you'll see in a second. So he grabs Ocean, got another plus off the Stratos. Pretty annoying, but it is what it is, right? Roll the Gate, not bad. So I decided to get rid of his Stratman because I'm getting sick of this. He pays for the Oppression. I get my draw 2. Pretty good. I ended up drawing Monk and Water, so these 2 draws are probably the worst 2 draws in the deck. Other than, I mean, I guess there's a lot of bad draws, but there's also a lot of decent draws, right? So doesn't do enough. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna swing. Not gonna bother setting any waters or like anything. So, oh, here's Unifrog. This card is gonna whoop me, so I'm like, oh dang, if he pops Gate, he's gonna get his Stratman back. He's gonna do more damage, right? It's really bad. And I have to let this go. Like, Impulse, he just summons it next turn. I have no way to stop it. But the upside is, okay, if he destroys my Oppression, my hand is live. So I was hoping for that. And then he ends up hitting the Oppression. So it could have just popped Gate, got his Stratman back and just played literal beatdown gang because literally cannot deal with that. Which is just like kind of wild to say. It's what happens. That's open water just every game, man. Fortunately. We allure. Banish the monk. You know what I'm saying? Because the monk is dead. So we summon water. Bring out the Goyo Guardian. Banish. This is the play I ended up going for. Could have went for Brownic, pitch, bounce gate to the hand or something. I didn't really see a need to do that. You know. So I banished the Treeborn. Killed the Uni. Or steal the Uni, I guess. It's pretty good. So I set the Solemn. So I'm looking pretty good here, but we'll see what happens. So Numerical Fusions, I cannot let that resolve. That's going to cook my whole field. So we Solemn Judgment that. And then here's another play that's going to be quite controversial and questionable. But I thought that maybe it was the correct play. Soul Exchange is my Goyo Guardian. I have a compulsory. So what I could do is I could bounce Goyo Guardian to my hand, into the extra, and that could be a play. Or I could just let it resolve. If he has Caius, like he banishes my Chaos Sword, and then I'm kind of cooked. There's nothing really I could do except pulse it to the hand, which is not good because, yeah, I don't know. That'd be kind of silly. They want Caius in their hand. I decide to pulse my own Goyo Guardian. And you could argue that this is not good because what was going to happen is he was going to tribute set his Malicious, and then that was going to be it, right? But that's the play I ended up going for. Again, I don't want to lose the Caius. He got Return. He's going to just set Plague. And that'll be that. So I draw Force of Future. That's pretty good. So I get my draw 2. And I draw Armor Knight Visions. These are the good draws that I want to see, baby. So we're in a very interesting position. He has Return. He has a Plague. Plague can unbrick his Mally. And Ocean is just whatever summon. Return is obviously pretty dangerous if he gets the Ocean out next turn. But I have Future Visions. I can stop the potential normal summon, right? So we'll see. So I end up going with Plague, Armor Knight. So here's the misplay that I think cost me the entire tournament, or the entire run. So what I should have done is I should have just went Battle Phase and swung. I was scared of Mirror Force. I was scared of all sorts of things. I noticed he's at 34. Maybe I could go for game. But let's be honest, the chances of this being a real back row is very high. It could be a Raigeki break. I was predicting Raigeki break. I was predicting maybe a Typhoon. Even Typhoon would prevent game because he could bring back Stratos. Literally anything could prevent game right here. Deep Prison, literally anything. But what I should have done is I should have just attacked with Chaos Sorcerer. Played around Deep Prison with, you know, not attacking with Brown Egg and just attack with Unifrog, right? And Unifrog can't pop back row if you're wondering. You have to have another frog. I should have just played Field Spell here. And that it would have, this Field Spell under this field would have stunted his normal summons like very hard. And by the way, so this right here, guys, Brownic is the best Fortune Related card, guys. Why? Because you have 10 cards in your deck that love to be bounced to your hand. And Future Visions is one of them. Future Visions. You play Future Visions. They summon into it, it gets banished, or they set, which is bad. You draw a card, you pitch that card, you bounce Visions to hand, you replay Visions. That card will remain, their monster will remain banished, and then you get another banish for next turn. Infinitely floodgating their normal summons. But unfortunately, I thought really hard, and I'm just like, I just want to go for game. I'm playing too aggressive, too much decision fatigue, you know, rustiness, really bad. But I do force out the return though, but you'll see what happens. So you get the Stratman, get the Search, pretty bad for me. And this is where it's over. So y'all see the line, right? If I had Future Visions here, it would have been so different. So this would be Engrave. Let's just play this out, because so this would be Engrave, right? And he would probably still have a return set because it wouldn't have gotten forced out. He could chill it. He could save it for his turn. Let's think. So he could normal summon Ocean, but then so if I had this on the field, is what I mean. That's the difference. So let's just think. So he would have Treeborn Stratos, right? He could normal, no, he can't normal anything, right? This is Engrave. He could special summon it, and then special summon, and then return, and then get Stratman and Treeborn. And then he could make a 7. So technically he could Black Rose there, which would be game anyways, basically, against my deck. Against this field, but let me really think. So I think I lose anyways, to be honest. I think I lose anyways, but I really think he could have potentially misplayed under Fortune Future Visions or something else. Maybe I overcommitted. Maybe I could have like held Chaos Sorcerer or something. But yeah, I think because then Treeborn, that plus Plague, Engrave, Extended Plague, Mallies, goes into the thing. Armor in this game. So that's my run. Pretty funny. I'm definitely going to keep trying to eventually win a local online, or I have bought a lot of cards to go take to my locals. Maybe I'll try to win there. So I've noticed that the deck is a lot better after the changes I made. Guys, I was selling a lot, guys. That build was cheeks. I took that build to locals. I got cooked. I went 1-4. I'm trying to evolve the deck, guys. I'm going to do better. So those are my replays of fighting some really good players in Frazier Smith's Discord. And so I guess I'll pull up the deck now. Let me just pull up that. You know, guys, the reason I'm back is because I'm planning on getting a new job, and I'm hoping it'll be able to support me going to locals and other stuff. So here's the build. Some questions. So there's some inspiration. So if you look at the previous build, so the last build that showcased, obviously there's so many changes. I took out return because it was too bricky. It's just kind of dead. I'm thinking about re-adding it though, because it's really good in the grind games. So this is the current build, guys. It's very different. There's a lot of cards that are removed. A lot of things I'm trying out. Cold Wave. Future Fusion package that I just took inspiration from. The Gigavice list that top 8'd at RBT Vienna. They were playing Future Fusion plus Alias. It was basically extra foolish burial, which is very good in his deck. But basically it allows me to send water, which is like a card that, let's be honest, you really only want in your deck or in the graveyard. And obviously I have the secondary option, which is the Earth, just in case I draw the water, which happens a lot for some reason. You can send Alias plus Commander or Alias plus water. Sets up your Dark for a draw 2. Fan of a Chaos. The theory is bringing this out with Monk and copying really good effects like potentially an extra deck monster or Chaos Sorcerer or Dark. Unfortunately, if you copy Dark, it only becomes 1600 though. But getting a draw 2 potentially is something that you could try. I am thinking about potentially cutting that. I'm thinking about potentially cutting Summoner Monk as well. We didn't really get to see it. I was thinking about maybe playing a Dimensional Alchemist or some other card that's good against deck devastation or something else. I am really enjoying the Armageddon Knight because Armageddon Knight is basically a 1.5 card Bionic, and Bionic is the most busted card in his deck. Let's be honest. I don't have a replay. I did make a replay, but I basically made up theory where it's like you open Armageddon Knight plus light plus visions. You end up with like crazy combos. So like, you go Armageddon Knight, you send Plague. Let me just show you all the theory really quick. So the theory is, guys, is that you normal summon Monk, and you want to draw Future Visions or a Fortune Lady Light. In this case, we draw Visions. So we go Monk, we pitch. You don't have to run Monk. You could potentially just run a second Armageddon Knight. But the thing is, you only really want to use the Armageddon Knight effect once. Plague, you could send Dark if you have Chaos Sorcerer, and then banish the Dark, enable your Force Future and all that. So you send Plague. Let's just stack, right? Your literal beginning play is turn 1 Bionic, which is very risky against a lot of things, but it's pretty hard to figure out a way to deal with this. So what this is you have Monk for a follow-up if they out the Bionic, and Bionic plus Visions is infinite Floodgate normal summons. I already kind of explained this, but yeah, so basically let's say they normal summon, it gets banished, your turn you draw, you pitch, he bounces the hand, and then you reactivate it, and then their stuff's permanently banished. They could set, which is pretty bad, but you could just pitch, bounce their set monster, and just be like, set again. And then don't play into Deep Prison, don't play in the Mirror Force, and then probably good. So then let's see. Oh, look, Light. That's exactly what I wanted. So the theory is with Light is like, this card is just insane. Let me just show y'all. So ignore this Visions, but Visions, let's just say, oh, we don't need to ignore it, but Vision, banish Light, summon Light. Pitch a card, bounce Light the hand, Light activates, summon Light, pitch Light, bounce Light, activate Light, summon Dark, Dark swing, Dark bring out Light. If you kill a monster, which happens, then you summon that Light, bounce Light, or pitch Light, bounce Light, activate Light, summon water, draw 2. So I've just theorized that maybe Fortune's Ladies is the best Bionic deck. And then you have Monk here, you can pitch Monk. If they kill Bionic, you can pitch Monk, summon Phantom of Chaos, banish Bionic, and then use its effect, right? Bounce stuff to your hand, you know what I'm saying? That's the theory behind the deck. I think Monk is a little too much committing with cards. I don't think you can really afford to pitch a spell. But that's basically the theory with the deck. Infinite Floodgate normal summons, draw 2, stuff like that. So that's the theory. The E-Telly also helps with that. Visions, Light, summon Wind, E-Telly for Commander, summon Water, E-Telly for Krebins. Basically, Light is synchro summoning with the Fortune Lady is really valuable because you basically got that Fortune Lady for free. And instead of having like a bad Fortune Lady sitting on field like Water or maybe Dark. Dark is good, right? But if you have like, oh, I want to get Water, I want to get it in the graveyard. How do I get it in the graveyard other than bringing it out? Let's synchro with it. E-Telly. Bring out Krebins, bring out Bionic. Now, if you're in a matchup where Bionic could be easily outed, let's say they could special summon Makin a Fortress, you might want to go with something like Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon can pop your Future Visions. It could also special Water from the hand, or like any of your little guys, and then you don't really need a battle phase. Anyways, Ancient Fairy can be very good for just popping visions and searching other visions. You know, their monster stays banished, right? And then there's also, but then it helps you unbreak. Then we have Bionic as well. So another interesting theory is like pitch, so bounce light the hand, activate light, summon wind, bounce wind the hand, summon wind, pop back row, and then you can just keep doing that every turn with Bionic. So it's like, okay, they don't interact with you, bounce wind the hand, summon wind, pop. It's like Ocean and Stratos in a way. Yeah, that's the theory of the deck. And then obviously Ancient Fairy was like pretty good. So I'm gonna actually show off how I got inspired with this build. So I'm gonna put a screenshot on screen, but this is the list that inspired me to make this list, and it was the Master Duel 2012 event. So I will say this list, the last change I would make to it is probably play 2 Gold Sarks instead of a Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality does not really have synergy with this deck as much as I thought, especially with the amount of special summons I have. This format is obviously very different. Ancient has all the erratas, there's no priority. Ancient Fairy is nerfed, so you can't do the thing. Bionic's also banned. There is a different synchro monster that can bounce Future Visions to the hand, but it's kind of hard to do that. I couldn't open the combo for some reason. But this is obviously a very different format. 2012, things are at 2. E-Tail is at 3 for some reason. Blackload Soldiers unbanned. If you're wondering why there's DD Designator, I use that for the Exodia matchup because there was a lot of Exodia in the event. Basically, you just banish the Exodia piece from their hand and you'd win. Because that deck is honestly unbeatable in a lot of circumstances because there's a lot of really broken draw cards and battle stoppers that are at 3 in the event. And Armor Knight. You'd Monk, summon Armor Knight, pitch, send Blackwing, which can bounce Future Visions to your hand and summon itself, which is really good. It's once per duel, but it's really good. And then you could like make a rank 4 off the Monk. So I think that's the theory, but then you probably shouldn't run Monk in Edison. Here's the 2 commanders. Probably should be like Carbons. And I completely foregone Win in this build. Why? Because Win is just not good in the format. So that's just something I elected to do. Is it correct? I'm not sure. You can check out my live stream. Unfortunately, I didn't really have odds up. And obviously there's Last Reborn, Dark World, which synergize very well with Fortune Ladies, Water, Light. They love it. So I did live stream for all 3 days of the event. I played 3 different decks. I played the Agent List by ProStorm. That was fun. It was so anti-meta. It was so hilarious. You know, special Christia, special busted cards. It's so good. And what else? I played the Dark World list. I played Dark World. That deck is the best deck in the format, let's be honest. Why is it the best deck? Because in Redo, people side 3 Gemini Imps, and it's the most side deck card in the entire format. And there's no side deck in Master Duel, so you're just free to do whatever you want with Dark World. It's like actually just really dumb. That's definitely the best deck. And then I ended up playing Fortune Ladies. I played Fortune Ladies for day 2, but yeah, a lot of development happened with the deck. A lot of development. And that's what I ended up going with. And I've been thinking about changing the deck. Cold Wave has not really came up. Phantom of Chaos is a bit troll. Summoner Monk maybe can go. You could potentially cut the Future Fusion package. You could potentially not even main deck the Wind and go for combo-y stuff, but I don't know, I just like the Wind, it comes up. And you could potentially play more back row, do other stuff, play more good normal summons because we have very few monsters in the deck. Some type of good normal summon, maybe another Armageddon Knight. Maybe play more targets for the Armageddon Knight. Maybe try to main deck D-Fisher. Oh, I didn't even I didn't even talk about the side deck. It's kind of just a theory side deck. You could very easily change the side deck. You could change out these Noblemans. They're probably not that good. Wangu. You could play Power Filter instead of Wangu. So we got the side deck Wind, obviously very good against background matchups. Works, right? Cyber Dragon. It's okay against machines. To be honest, I didn't even use the Cyber Dragon at all in my side deck. I probably should take it out for something else, to be honest. We'll see. Wangus, they shut down like frogs, they shut down quick draw, they shut down like forks, they shut down a lot. Obviously, like those decks are prepared for something like Fossil Dyna. They can out your Wangu just as easily as a Fossil Dyna with like Book of Moon, Smashing Ground. They can't normal summon a 1400 and swing into this. But yeah, I definitely think Power Filter is probably better because it forces them to like out it in some sort of way, and then they can't special summon. They can't go through their deck, which is very good, or they can't summon 1000 or below. And like, you can still special summon your Lady Lights because they're question mark attacks. So that's something to think about. I probably will go with Power Filter. Thunder King. Good against zombies, I guess. Good against Machina. Life Force Harmonizer. I got this off Panda 25. I think this card is just hilarious. It's anti-burn. It's also, it can negate Caius. And I was trying to think of other cards it can negate, but I don't think it can really negate. So apparently it can negate your opponent inflicting damage to themselves because it doesn't specify which player. So that's funny. But most of those cards, Solemn Judgment would pay for cost, so you can't negate it. So, and then we have Gemini Imps. I don't want to deal with it. So, and it would just be hilarious, right? Like, it's just super. I just find it, guys, I just find it hilarious to run very specific tech in the side deck. Literally just counter just random obscure thing. It's not a floodgate. It's just like a hand trap that's like just randomly good against them. Because hand traps are like very rare in Edison. Everyone expects Crow, but no one expects a Gemini Imps, right? That'd be so funny to just hand trap them with like, the most randomest card that like, no one is playing. I don't know. It just seems hilarious. DD Designator. So the theory with this card is that like it's good against, I don't know, some type of deck that like degenerate and like searches a lot or something, but it's probably too slow. It's probably too silly. Maybe I should just play like Mind Crush or something, which I do have. But there's also a thing with this card that's kind of hilarious, which is like, it can technically unbrick you. So let's say you have Dark Fortune's Future and this card. You could set this card, activate this, call the wrong card, banish Dark from your hand, and then activate this and draw 2. So like you go -1, but you unbrick yourself. So I don't know. It's something to think about. Deep Fissure, obviously very good in this deck. Probably should be siding 2 over Knock. You can't really main deck this card. It's too passive. Like you need Engine already to make it good, which Fortune Ladies is already kind of a multi-combo card deck. So if you see this in only one piece, it's not really great. Unless it's like I set light and then they kill it and then I Fortune's Future. It's just not really good enough. I definitely should probably like try to play it more. Then we have Nobleman. Hilariously, GBs love to set a lot under your Future Visions. So you could technically side deck it against GBs, but or going second, they don't usually set their monster. So then we have Decree and Depression. Decree, you can bounce it to your hand with Bionic. And also, in theory, if you can establish a Bionic play and you set Oppression, you can bounce Oppression to your hand. That's something that you could do. That'd be insanely busted and degenerate, honestly. But it's like, that's something Fortune Ladies can do. I'm saying that's something a deck that normally wouldn't do. Obviously, this card can backfire severely against you, but it's something to think about. So yeah, that's a deck. I'm gonna get into some jank replays now, or maybe I should just like save it for next video. I don't know. I don't know, guys. And maybe I'll just stop the recording now and then record something separately. We'll see. Make sure to check out my last video, the AI ruling video. It was hilarious. If you want to learn, just check it out for learning more about the chart and, among other things, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'll see you on the next video.